Good morning, everybody. Today I am going to talk about the ketogenic diet that I've been hearing a lot about lately. So, you know how like our electronics are definitely listening to us when we talk. So, for example, I'm sure you all have experienced this too, but sometimes we have like a movie night in our family. And so on one occasion, one of my daughters said, let's watch that movie about Henrietta Lacks. So are you all familiar with Henrietta Lacks, Lacks? She is a black woman. She's a black woman, and doctors at Johns Hopkins University Hospital did experiments using her cell. They used her cells to conduct experiments because the nature of her cells were different than the majority of people. With her cells, they were producing so fast that the doctors were able to use them to do experimentations because they kept reproducing. But watch the movie, do your research to know exactly what I'm talking about here. But anyway, Oprah Winfrey is actually in this movie. It came out several years ago, and it's actually very good. And it's like, who knew? Who knew that all this has gone on? And so eventually there was a lawsuit, and her family did get some money behind it. But anyway, this movie was suggested for a family movie night, and then all of a sudden, I started seeing advertisements for this movie as a suggestion for us to watch. Happens all the time, so I know our electronics are watching us. So recently, I was on a Facebook page, and it's a Facebook page about mental illness. And in the comment section, someone had commented about this ketogenic diet is dangerous. And I think one of the reasons why the person was saying they think it's dangerous because John F. Kennedy Jr. talks about the ketogenic diet as being a cure for schizophrenia. And so this commenter was saying it's dangerous for people to be saying that it's a cure for schizophrenia. And then somebody else had commented, yeah, this is like quack science. And so it just so happened that I had seen a YouTube video. A licensed physician was actually talking about the ketogenic diet and how it can help people with schizophrenia. And so I commented that personally, I didn't really give too much thought to it because, one, in order for somebody to try this ketogenic diet as something that may ease symptoms of schizophrenia, first they have to admit that they even have schizophrenia. And a lot of people with schizophrenia are in denial about even having this illness. And so it wasn't something that I put a lot of thought into as far as approaching my son with like, hey, why don't you try this diet? I just really didn't think too much about it. But anyway, I commented on this Facebook group. I said, this is based on scientific research. And before you knock it, why don't you actually do some research? I don't think it's a cure for schizophrenia, but it may help with the symptoms of schizophrenia. And I'm not endorsing this ketogenic diet either way, but I'm just saying before you just jump in and talk about how it's quack science, and how it's scary that somebody's saying this, do the research first before you comment on it. And other people were saying similar things. And then one person actually mentioned this woman who her name is Lauren Kennedy West, and she actually has a Facebook channel. This woman is diagnosed with schizophrenia, and apparently this woman was doing the ketogenic diet, and for a year and a half she didn't have symptoms of, excuse me, 1 minute. She didn't have symptoms of schizophrenia, and now her symptoms are coming back. And so I had never even heard of Lauren Kennedy West. And literally a few hours later, this woman's YouTube channel, I was looking for something to watch, and it popped up. when I was scrolling through YouTube looking for something to watch. And so I did check out her video. And so what she was saying is that she had been doing this diet for about 18 months, and she was not having any symptoms of schizophrenia. But then, as it happens, because she was feeling great, she started slacking on the diet. She was just getting tired of doing it. And I'm sure with any illness, people do stuff like that. I have hypertension, and I have slacked off taking my medications. And then I stopped taking them because I was feeling good. And then I started having symptoms of high blood pressure, in that, I'd be going up and down the stairs or playing tennis, and then my heart would be racing, and I started getting headaches. And when I checked my blood pressure, because I have a cuff at home, when I checked my blood pressure, my blood pressure was high. And so I went back to it. And that's what happened to this woman, who is a young woman. She looks like she's maybe in her 30s, maybe in her 40s. She's married. She has 2 kids. And so she had slacked off, and she started experiencing evidence of or symptoms of psychosis again. And so I watched one of her videos this morning, and I think she's going to get back to this regime of taking, not only was she doing the ketogenic diet, but she was also engaging in metabolic therapy, as well as taking supplements. And when it comes to supplements, I would like to say, do your research on the supplements that you do take, if you do take supplements, because a lot of these supplements, they don't do what they say they're supposed to do. So make sure you do your research, and you're taking supplements that are authentic. But again, I'm not endorsing the ketogenic diet. I'm just saying, do your research, because if you're a person that has like schizophrenia, and you admit that you have it, then this may or may not work for you. But it's a resource that's out there, and it's worth looking into. And then I also want to get into a little bit about what is the ketogenic diet. I've known people to do the keto diet. Actually, I've had 2 sisters that have experimented with it for different reasons. One of them, I think she just wanted to lose weight, and she did lose a lot of weight on the keto diet. And but as soon as she started back eating, on a regular diet, she gained that weight back. I had another sister that did the ketogenic diet. She was doing it because she was having some physical issues, some physical health issues. And she did the ketogenic diet, and she did say it relieved the symptoms of whatever physical issue that she was having. But the ketogenic diet that helps with schizophrenia is different and more strict than the keto diet that my sisters were doing. And so there is a doctor. Her name is Dr. Tracey Marks, and I'm going to put her name in the comment section of this video. But she can get into how the keto diet that helps schizophrenia and relieves some of those symptoms associated with schizophrenia. She goes in. It's not a long video, which is why I love her videos, because she's more to the point. But it's worth checking out so you can get the detail of how this diet works, and how being in a state of ketosis can help relieve the symptoms of schizophrenia. So she goes into detail about how this diet works, which is a high-fat, low-carb diet. And the other thing I want to say about this, as in this person's video and some of the other videos that I've seen out here about the ketogenic diet, they always stress that you need to, if you're going to try this diet, you need to do it in conjunction or in partnership with your mental health care team, because this diet may interfere with medications that you're on. I was recently doing a Daniel fast, and my pastor said, I was doing it with the church, and the pastor told us, when we embark on this Daniel fast journey, that you may feel sick when you first start doing it. The diet that we were doing, it was like no meat at all, no seafood, no fish, no chicken. it was no dairy, no eggs. So you had to find other ways of eating protein. So some of my favorite things that I ate during this diet was like sweet potato and black bean stew that I made. I also made a butternut squash and chickpea stew. And so, but I have to say that the first week that I did this diet, at a certain point in the first week, I did start feeling kind of headachy. I started feeling sluggish, a little bit lethargic. So I wasn't feeling well as my body got used to me eating this way, as my body withdrew from caffeine and all the things that go in the processed foods that we eat. And so I didn't feel well the first week. And then the second week, I ended up getting a cold and I was filled with congestion. And so when I would check my blood pressure during that second week, my blood pressure was actually high. But by the third week, when my body was used to this diet and I was no longer dealing with a cold, I was checking my blood pressure and my blood pressure did go down. So now that I'm no longer doing the Daniel fast, I do plan on sticking with a lot of the habits that I developed during this diet. But I'm saying this all to say that you want to, if you decide to try the ketogenic diet, do it with a healthcare team because there may be some side effects to doing that. And so it's also important if you do the ketogenic diet with this version of it, not the one that people do just if they want to lose weight, but with the version that I'm talking about now in this video, you really have to make sure that you have the correct fat to protein and carb ratio. So it's stricter than the other one. So again, in a typical breakfast, I want to say this before I end this video, like a typical breakfast for somebody doing this diet, like for breakfast would be something like maybe eggs, bacon, and some avocado. For lunch, you might have like a chicken breast and some broccoli with butter because you want the fat in there. For dinner, you might have salmon with some cream sauce. So, but anyway, do your research, talk with a physician, but I don't think that it is quack science. There may actually be benefits if it's done correctly. It may work for some people, it may not work for others, but it's just a resource that's out there and it's worth looking into. So just wanted to put that out there as a resource, and until the next video, you all take care and please like and subscribe to my channel so I can get this channel moving. And I just want this to be a channel where people can find a safe place to talk about all things mental illness, especially for the parents out here and particularly for you moms. So take care and enjoy the rest of your day.